I have just started sharing my screen. So we'll first just revise yesterday's topics. Then we will move on to today's topic. Okay, so we started yesterday's class with ABAP workbench objects. So workbench is nothing but any object that has a technical dependency which has to be created by ABAP team. Okay, any object that has to be created by ABAP team is nothing but a workbench object. Right, then in SAP in general we will have three landscapes: first development, then quality, then production. Most of the work that as an ABAPer that we do is dealt in development system, and all the testing, right, related to testing and moving your code changes, testing, everything happens in your quality system. Then once the testing is completed, your change that you did or the creation that you did, that will be moved to production system for the business user to use it every day, every month, whatever the time period is, right? So the flow goes like this. You cannot directly create anything in quality or production system. You can only create object in development system, and you have to test it in quality system. Then only you have to move it to production system. Without testing in quality also, you should never move the change to production system, right? So when I'm saying change means whatever development that you do, right? So that's I'm just making it as a change. So any development that you do without testing it in quality, you should never move it to production system. Okay, I mean, again, you are not the person who will move it to production system. There are transport teams to move it, but just saying that you have to be careful not to give them the go ahead to move it to production without testing sign off from quality system. Okay, so then categories of objects that are there in SAP. So first is called as a local object. Second is a transportable object. So local object is something that cannot be moved to quality and production systems. It is only created in development system. So normally we will create local objects only for testing purposes or some just to check whether the code that you are writing is correct or not, only to see that coding pattern and all. Just to practice purpose, you have to write it or save it in a local object. Then transportable objects are something that we normally create, right? So these transportable objects can be moved from quality uh, can be moved from development to quality and production system, right? Because the reason you can move it is there will be a transport number or a TR associated with every transportable object, right? So that is the reason by using the TR you can move your changes to quality or production system. Then these are a few differences between local and transportable. So local objects are often saved under package $TMP, whereas the transportable object are always saved in a TR. It's always saved in a normal package, right? Custom package. And whenever you save any object in the custom package or standard, whatever other than $TMP, if you save it in any other package, then it will ask for a transport request. Okay. Then local object for local objects, since they are not transportable, you do not need a TR. But transportable object will have a TR. Then the local objects again cannot be moved to quality or develop production system. It is only confined to your development system. Transportable objects can be released from development to any system, any target system, quality or production system. So local objects are created for testing purposes only, and transportable objects are created in order to complete the client or business requirement. Okay, then what is a package exactly? So package is nothing but a folder, right? Package is nothing but a folder in SAP which is used to store our objects. Okay, package. So today we will create a package. So after creating the package, you will see how exactly objects are stored in the packages and all. Okay, so package is a folder which is a collection of objects. Then, so the categories of packages: so local, standard, and custom. So local package is nothing but whenever we are creating any local objects, we are saving it in $TMP. So that $TMP is nothing but the local or temporary package. Then standard packages are something that are created by SAP, and we as an ABAPer should never change any standard package, right? As an ABAPer, we should never change standard packages. Then custom packages are created by ABAP consultants only, and we have the free will to add or delete the objects from custom package as per the requirement. Then transport request. So what is a transport request is? So transport request is a system generated unique number that gets generated only in your development system, right? It gets generated only in your development system, which is used to release the object from development to target. So when I'm saying target, target could be quality or production. Okay, so that same TR we will use, no, to production also. That's why. So from development to quality, from quality to production, and this is a series of how a transport number looks like. So first three letters will be the name of the system. Okay, name of the system or system ID. Here DE1 is the test system ID that we have taken, for example, as an example. So it's starting with DE1 followed by K. After K, the number that you see is a unique number that gets generated or that gets auto generated whenever you save any object in a package. Okay, so we'll create today anyhow. So then you will get a very clarity on what is a package, what is a TR, how is it created, and all, what is a local object and all. Okay, so then types of transport request. So first is workbench TR, and second is customizing TR. So workbench TR is the TR in which all the ABAP related objects are saved. Okay, in workbench object all the ABAP related objects are saved, and 90% of the time we will only create workbench objects in project. We will never create customizing objects, customizing TR. Okay, then customizing TR is used to store the configurations in the system or any data, like if you are maintaining any data in any table, so that table data will be stored in the customizing TR. Okay, so then concept of transaction code, very important concept. So transaction codes are like shortcuts which are used to navigate to any object, any place in SAP. If you want to navigate to any place in SAP, then you have to use transaction code. Okay, so transaction codes start like a few transaction codes here are SE star and SM star. So all the T codes that are starting with SE star are related to ABAP T codes. Okay, SC stands for system engineering. So all the T codes that are starting with SC are ABAP T codes. All the T codes that are starting with SM are system maintenance. So these are related to your functional T codes. Okay, at most you will use 10 to 15 T codes. That's it. So you just need to memorize these T codes. They will also give you the documentation of all the T codes that are there in the system. I mean that are not they are not that are there in the system, but that are widely used across the system by ABAPers. We will give the list of all the T codes also. Okay, then types of transaction codes. First is standard T code, and second is, yeah, I was saying, yeah, first is standard T code and second is custom T code. So standard T codes are normally created by SAP itself, and we should never change the standard T code. We can use it, but we'll reuse it every day. We will reuse standard T codes in order to navigate to different screens. Then we have custom T code. So custom T codes are created by ABAP team only. No other team can create a custom T code, and these are modified by us again, created by us and modified by us. Then what exactly is a custom package and what is a standard package? How to differentiate between both? So standard object is something that is created and delivered by SAP. Simple. SAP, and we as an ABAP consultant, we should never change any of these standard objects. Then custom objects are created by us, ABAP consultants, and we have the free will to change the custom objects as per the requirement. Then identification of standard versus custom objects. So any object that is starting with Y or Z, right? Any object that is starting with Y or Z is called as a custom object. So any object that is starting with any letter between A to X, right? A, B, C, D up until X. Any object starting with a letter between A to X is standard object, right? And also in between Y and Z, most of the projects will use Z out there. So even we also, when we create any object, even for testing purposes or demo purposes, whatever, right? We will always use Z because we follow, like as I said, we will follow naming project naming conventions here. Okay, then shortcuts to our T codes. So slash n addition is used to replace my existing session with a new session, right? Yesterday we have seen. Then slash o is to create a new session without replacing my existing session. Okay, that is slash o. Then finally slash n ex. So ex is for exit. Okay, slash n ex. So if you use this, then you will be logged out of all the sessions in SAP. Okay, so this was what we have discussed yesterday. So if you are having any doubts from yesterday's class, you can please ask here. Okay, I'll take it as a no then. So moving on. So now let's see how to create a package. Okay, so I'll get into SAP. So for creation of package, there is a T code called SE80. Okay, SE80. So this is called as Object Navigator. Okay, Object Navigator. See, observe what's written here. Welcome to ABAP Workbench. Right, welcome to ABAP Workbench. So this T code is specially designed only to create Workbench objects. Right, this T code is designed by SAP to create Workbench ABAP objects. See, at any point, if you want to see the T code information, that will be available here. Okay, see SC80. Right, if you want to see which T code I'm using at any point, you can see it here, SC80. Okay, done. So once you come, this is the initial screen. This is the first screen of my SC80. So from this screen, see there is a thing called as a package here. It says object category. So when I hover my cursor on top of these fields, you will see a description. See, object category I'm getting. If I take it to here, it's a free text, right? We have to give a name here. So this is a free text and this is a drop down. Okay, so if I choose this drop down, observe these are all the objects that we have. So we will never create all these objects again. So we'll use package, program, function group, function module, class. That's it. So all these are above objects. The remaining ones are not exactly above objects. Okay, internet services and all are not exactly above objects. Okay, so development object could be anything. Again, it could be anything, any of these. It's called development object, right? But to create these also, we have separate T codes. So you can either create it from here or use separate T codes that are there for all these objects, up to you, your wish. Okay, so anyhow, we will not discuss of on what are these other objects are till class. So now we want to create a package. So I'll have to create the object category as package. Then I have selected it. Then I'll have to give the name of the package that I want to create. Right, I'll give underscore abap. Okay, this is the name that I want to give to my package that I'm creating. Remember, ABAP is not case sensitive. It is not case sensitive, so you can use capital, small, whatever you like to. Okay, see here I used capital, then I've used small. Okay, see capital, small, alphanumeric values you can pass. Then after giving the name of the package that you want to create, you can click on this display icon. Right here, you see there's a small icon called display. So just click on this icon. So it says package ZB2 ABAP does not exist. So do you want to create the object? So our requirement is again to create the object only. So I'll click yes. right? Then it will ask for some information, right? Like short description. So short description is nothing but some description that we have to pass in order to make the package meaningful. Okay, so when any person again like at a later point wants to come here and see, then they should understand why we have created this package. So it's just a short description for that. So I'll just give test package for ABAP. Then we have something called as a application component. So here we have to choose for which application we are creating. So in few areas you will see this kind of icon. Okay, this kind of icon, it's not available on all. See here it's not there, here it's not there, but here we have this icon. So whenever you see this icon, this is called as F4 help. Okay, F4 help. So if you click on this button, you will get a pop-up. See, in this pop-up, you will see all the functional areas that are there in the system. Okay, see it has what basis. See basis where basis components. This has cross application component. It has finance F5. This is also finance F5. Governance, right? Treasury, real estate. See this is for SD, even sales and distribution. So each and every module that is there in SAP will be available in this. So whatever component that is installed in current SAP server, all those components you will see it here. So if you are getting the request from salesperson, if a sales consultant is requesting you to create a package, again, see, as remember in the initial class, as I said, business user will not directly connect with you. Only your functional consultant will connect with you. So you will know which from which functional area is that consultant from, right? So depending on that, you can choose that functional area. If MM person is reaching out to you, then make it MM. If SD is reaching out to you, make it SD. If finance is reaching out to you, make it FI. So depending on who is reaching out to you to create this package, just select that application component. So now, like let's say I'm choosing SD, sales and distribution. Just double click. You can double click and it will be selected. Okay, if you want to change it also, you can change it. After selecting SD, if you feel like okay, it's just a typo, I want to change it, then again you can double click again. Here, come here, double click F5. See, again you can do it a number of times that you want to. Right, you can change it. So now again I'll make it MM. Right, see, done MM. So this software component will be filled automatically. You don't need to worry. Currently it's filled as home, but in your project it could be your project name. Okay, don't worry about the software component. Then transport layer will also be filled automatically when you create the package. So this is a test system, right? So that is the reason the transport layer here will not work. So this transport layer is what capable of moving the object from one system to another system. Okay. So this transport layer, depending upon your project, you see, don't worry, you'll get KT anyhow in the beginning. So you will get some transport layers here, either one or multiple, depends. Right, depending on that, you just have to choose the transport layer like this. Then super package, not at all necessary. Then what is this package type? This is a development package, so keep it development package. Then encapsulated, you don't need to check it. Okay, you don't need to check this. So for just package name, then short description, application component, the software component and transport layer will be filled automatically in your project. Super package, you should never give it. This checkbox also, you'll never check it. Package type should always be development package. Simple. Okay, then hit OK. See, it is what is it asking for? Prompt for local workbench request. Right? Prompt for local workbench request. So workbench request is again difference between bench tr and customizing tr. Okay, see, okay, I'll repeat again. So this is a workbench request. So now it is asking me to create a workbench request here. So the difference between workbench request and customizing request is workbench request is something in which ABAP related objects will be saved. Okay, workbench request is something in which ABAP related objects will be saved. Customizing request is something in which system configurations and system or table data will be saved. Okay, we as an ABAPer will always use workbench request, and as functional consultants they will always use customizing request. So that's why even here you see when I'm trying to create the package, see package is an ABAP object. Package is a workbench object, ABAP object now. So it is asking for a local workbench request. It is nothing but a TR. Workbench request is nothing but a TR. See here you see as for HK followed by a series number. So here we have to create the package. Sorry, create the TR. So to create the TR, there is a button here. It says create request, right? This is an existing TR that is coming up here. Ignore that. So here we have to create the request. Just click on create request. After clicking that, here just fill some short description for the on why you are creating this, etc., etc. So package for area, right? You are storing the package in this TR na. So I'm just giving package for area. Then click on save. That's it. You just need to click on create, then fill the short description, nothing else. See, again, a new number is generated here. Okay, this is a new number again. System itself will generate. You don't need to worry. Just to fill the short description, then hit OK. Okay, I hope I've addressed your question. In real time, will package be created by developer or BA will create? No, always an ABAPer has to create a package. No one else can create the package because creation of packages will need developer access, and developer access is only given to ABAPer. No one else in the project will have developer access. Also, once the package is created, are we allowed to edit the package details? Yes, you will be allowed to edit the package details. We'll do it now. So I've created this package now. So we'll edit the details of this package. Okay, see, now my package is created. So now here I see zb2 underscore abap. So I just double click this. Okay, see, I'm getting all the details that I filled. I filled the short description, application component. So this person responsible is nothing but my ID with which I logged in. So you can see my ID here. See, user, my ID. So that's the reason it's coming my ID because I created it. Then created by my ID, created on today's date. Then changed on is also today's date, created and changed both today's date only. So whatever the thing that we have filled, it's coming up here. So in order to change it, just go to change. So here there is a button. Let's see, currently it says display package, right? It says display package, and all these fields are grayed out, right? All these fields are grayed out. So to make it editable, we have to click on this button, display change. You see a button. So just click on this. See now whatever the fields that we filled initially while creation of the package are enabled again. See, short description is enabled, application is component is enabled. So these are by defaultly filled, right? By defaultly filled, so it's not editable. See, my transport layer is again editable, my software component is editable. So here again, if you want to change the description, you can change it. Test package for ABAP slash area. I just wanted to add this description. So application component also again, if you want to change it, you can go to F4. From here you can select whatever you want to. Done. After that I can again save. Done. Object was saved. So here that this is how you change the package. Okay, I hope I have addressed your concern. So any doubt, any more doubts in package creation, or how to edit the packages and all? Anyone? Rathod, you are not audible. Or you can put your doubt in the chat. I'll see and answer it because your voice was getting muffled when you were speaking. Explain again. Okay. Okay, so see, first of all, package is nothing but a folder in which all the ABAP related objects are saved. Okay, see currently if I open this, since I've just created it, if I open this package there will be nothing. See, it will be completely empty, there is nothing in it. But if I open an existing package, okay, let's say I'm opening this, any existing package, Z demos created by someone else, I didn't create it but I just wanted to show you. So this is our package. In this package, if you see, someone else created it, they have stored all the objects in this. So it says dictionary objects, programs, function groups, all these things are saved inside this package. So this is how an actual package will look like in your projects. So if you open this up, again this up, see, there are multiple objects. So if you open this up again, database table, see, this is a database table, technical settings and everything. Everything that you create in SAP will be stored in the package only, right? See, if you open this again, new syntaxes, see, like this, all these things. If you double click, it will take you to the program. See, this is a program. So don't worry what is the program and all. Again, we will see it anyhow, but I'm just showing you. See, if I go to this table, it will take me to the table like that. So each and every workbench object is stored in your package. Simple. So now to create a package, we have to get into a T code called SE80. Okay, this is my T code SE80. So after getting into the T code SE80, we have to choose the object category as package here. Okay, package here, then we have to give the name of the package here, that whatever we want to create. So what we gave was cb2 underscore abap. So this was the name that we gave, right? See, if it is already existing in the system, then you will directly get it here. Once you give it here, you will directly get it here. But if it is not there already in the system, if you click on display, it will not come. Okay, it will not come up. So while creation also, you have to do this only. Okay, so give your package name, give your package name, then click on this icon. Okay, then you will get a pop-up, right? You'll get a pop-up saying you want to create the package. You have to choose yes. Then you just have to fill these details out. Short description you'll have to fill, application component depending on which functional consultant is asking you to create the package, you have to give that application component here. Then you have to give the transport layer and software component will be filled automatically depending upon your project transport layer and all. So transport layer is responsible for moving the changes from one system to another system. That is nothing but your transport layer. Again, it's not something you do, it is something that your basis team does. Okay, so it will be filled automatically, but you will never create a transport layer. Transport layers are created by basis teams. Then software component again will be filled automatically. So once you fill all those details in that pop-up, you have to click on save. Simple. Then you will end up in this screen. So this screen you will see all the details. So by default it will be in display mode. So if you want to make any change again, you can click on this icon. They click on this icon, it will be in change mode. So let's say you have created a package now. So after a couple of days, okay, after a couple of days, your business or your functional consultant is reaching out to you saying, okay, can you please change the short description of the package to this description? Instead of that description, change this description. If they come to you, then again, what we have to do is we have to go back to SC80 again. SC80, then give your package name, choose package, give your package name. It will come up, see display, it will come up on the bottom here. Then double click this, then this is currently in display, so just click on change, then change the description as of whatever they are suggesting to change, then save it. Done. Simple. Okay, hope I'm clear. Any more doubts? Okay, one thing I'll show you. See, we have saved this package in a TR, correct? A transport request, a workbench transport request, we have saved it. So if I go to SC09, SC09 is a T code which is used to navigate to transport request. Okay, transport request SC09 slash O I'm using because I don't want to end this session, I want to create a new session. So slash O, enter. Okay, see here it says user. So I want to see all the TRs that are created on my ID. So I'm just giving my ID here and I'll hit display. Or I mean, I'll just hit either display or I'll hit enter on my keyboard. Okay, see these are all the things that I've created. So here if I open the first one, because see package for MM area, this is what we have created now. So if I open this, see it says package. So my package is saved under this TR. Okay, my package is saved under this TR. So again, like this only, if you could don't doesn't matter whatever the object it is, if you are saving those objects in your TR, you will similar to this, you will have a drop downs of all those objects. So all the objects are stored inside this package, sorry, inside the TR like this. When you want to transport the object to quality or production system, this TR is what will take it ahead to the target system. Without the TR, you will not be able to move any change to quality or production system. So transport request is mandatory to move the change to quality or production system. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Any doubts? Anyone? See, all the steps on how this step-by-step document is already given to you in the ERP introduction only. So if you just open that up, you can see it. Let's see. Package is a collection of objects, then right. You see, initial screen of object navigator. What we have seen just now. This is the initial screen. Then here, all the steps to create the package. See, execute a CAT, then select the package, enter package name, click on yes button, enter short description, click on save icon. So this is what we did. Currently also, this is what we did. Simple. So that's why at any given point of time, see all the documentation is similar to this only. Every object that we create will have this stepwise document. So again, even after the class, or let's say after completion of the class also, when you get into a project, if you forget how to create any object, then just come back to the document and check it. Check the step by step process on how to create it. You will be able to recreate it without any problem. Okay, so let's just once check if we have completed all the topics or if anything is remaining from the introduction. Okay, so first introduction we've completed, what is SAP and all, then ERP we have completed, then uses of ERP, then what are the other vendors in ERP. So Oracle, these are other vendors that are there in the market. So what is a client, what is a server, we've completed. Then three-tier architecture we've completed, presentation, application, database layer. This is just a pictorial representation of the same. Then above for introduction, so all the statements that are there, right? So select, modify, delete, insert, update, we have completed. Then first initial screen of SAP, so first screen of SAP we have seen. Then command field, the top left corner field in which we are giving the T codes, right? That is nothing but command field, we've completed. Then transaction codes, we have standard and custom T codes, so this topic we completed. Then yeah, extensions to the standard T codes O and EX we have completed. Then yeah, above workbench. So above workbench will consist of all these objects. So these are different T codes again. So S11 for data dictionary, 38 for evaporator and all. So just a few useful workbench tools. So we'll see each and everything that is maintained here going further. So this is to create a data dictionary objects. This is to create programs. This is to create messages. This is to create function modules. This is to create menu bars. This is to create forms, etc. Right? All these things will be covered as we progress further. Then object navigator. Yeah, we've completed this also. Then steps to create the package. Right, so with today's class we've completed the complete SAP ERP introduction. Okay, so again, since this initial notes is shared already in the Google Classroom, I request you to please once go and check it. Okay, go through the whole document And also, if you haven't completed your registration yet, again, reiterating, a few of you have completed it, but for the people who haven't completed it, please do complete it, because only then you will get your server access and the whole document access, the whole recording access. So all the accesses, right, that are required for you will be shared post your registration or enrollment is completed. Okay. So then, right. So we have completed the ERP introduction. So now we'll just see a glance, since we are having almost half an hour more time. So we'll just see introduction to data dictionary. Okay. So data dictionary is the second chapter. First chapter is SAP ERP introduction. Second chapter is data dictionary. So we will start with data dictionary now. Okay. We'll just complete the theoretical part. Not even complete. We'll just see the high level um approach of what exactly is data dictionary and all. Then actual creation and all we'll do it tomorrow next class. Okay, so first, data dictionary is nothing but it is a central repository which is used to create data objects. Okay, data dictionary is a central repository which is used to create any data object. So this data object could be a table, a structure, a view, a data element, etc., etc., etc. Okay, all these things also we will see. Just remember that if anyone asks you what is a data dictionary, you have to tell them data dictionary is a central repository which is used to create the data objects in SAP. Simple. Okay. So in ECC system, we used to have different types of tables. So I have told you this now in when discussing about HANA versus ECC, right? Differences between ECC and HANA. I told you in ECC we have multiple category of tables. In HANA we only have one category of tables. So this is that. So it is part of data dictionary. Okay, see, in ECC we will have three types of tables. So first is transparent table, then cluster table, then pooled table. So these are three types of tables that are there in data dictionary. In ECC system, again only in ECC system. So but in whereas in HANA system, all these three types are replaced with only transparent tables. Okay, all these three are replaced with only transparent tables. So you will not have any cluster or pooled tables. The reason is, see, transparent table will have one-to-one relationship with respect to your database. This one-to-one relationship means, observe, I'll show you in the system. Okay, I'll display some standard table. Okay, VBAP is a standard table. Okay, see, in this table I'm having what, 536 fields. Okay, 536 fields are there in my table. So if we look at the database, also in the database level also, this table will only have 536 fields. Okay, in front end this is presentation server. Okay, whatever you're seeing now in the screen, this is presentation layer. So in this presentation layer, if you are seeing 536, then in database also this table will only have 536 entries and 536 fields in it. That is transparent table. But a cluster or pooled table could have more or could have less. It will not have one-to-one relationship with respect to your database. So if imagine if the, see here it says transparent table. See, we are in the HANA system, so again we can't see different categories because this is advanced HANA system that we are currently practicing in, right? So we will not see cluster and pooled. But imagine if this was a cluster table here. Okay, if imagine if this was a cluster table here or a pooled table, then if we are seeing 536 here, at database level it could be 600 or it could be 400 or it could be anything. It could be anything other than this 536. It will not be 536. So it will have one to many relationships, right? It will have one to many relationships. Transparent table will have one to one relationship with respect to your database. If there are 536 here, same number of fields will be there in the database, whereas cluster or pooled will not have same number of fields in presentation layer and database layer. It will be different. Okay, so because of that difference, it used to create discrepancies in the system. It used to create inconsistencies in the system when you are extracting the data from these cluster and pooled tables. So that is the reason SAP thought of replacing the cluster and pooled tables with transparent tables only. Okay, that's the reason SAP itself, they itself in HANA databases, they have replaced the cluster and pooled with transparent tables. Okay, I can show you one example of it. So there is a table called as BSEG. Okay, so this BSEG is a standard table again. So this BSEG is used to store the finance related information. Okay, BSEG is used to store the finance related information. See again, don't worry as in how am I remembering these many number of tables. It's not even English and all, don't worry about it. Hardly we will have 10-15 tables, that's it in SAP, that we have to normally keep reusing it. Okay, so from sales we have 4 tables, from we have 4 tables, then from finance we'll have 5-6 tables, from delivery we'll have 2-3 tables, like that only that. You don't need to remember all the tables that are there in the system. We just have to, I mean, you don't even don't to remember any table, honestly speaking, because anyhow your functional consultant will give you the information about the tables. But as you keep working, right, as you keep working throughout the years, you will memorize those things. So that's how I'm showing you, that's it, simple. Okay, see, okay, as I was saying, so BSEG is a standard table that is related to your finance area. So if you display this table, so currently we are in HANA system. So here it says transparent table. But if you open the same table in ECC system, if you open the same table in ECC system, it will be a pooled table in it. So here instead of transparent table, it will be written as pooled table here. Okay, so that is the difference. So in ECC to HANA, all the cluster and pooled tables in ECC are replaced to or changed to transparent tables in HANA system. Okay, any doubts in this? Because anyhow, if you are getting a HANA project, again, you will only see transparent tables only in situations where you are getting any support project that is very old project, in which they are still using ECC. Only in that case, you will see cluster and pooled tables. One more thing is you will never ever create cluster and pooled tables. Never create it. Only custom tables that you will create are transparent tables. You will never create cluster or pooled tables in any project. Okay, clear, or anyone has any doubts? Okay, yeah, thanks for the confirmation. Fine. So we'll move on. Okay, so we'll just complete this unique to non-unique relationship. Then we'll close today's class, and tomorrow we will create a live database table in system. Okay. See, to create any table, it is mandatory for us to understand the unique and non-unique relationship. Okay, so unique relationship means, say here, these are all my fields. So imagine this is a employee database table. Okay, this table that I have here, this is an employee database table. So this employee database table is used to store my information, right? This is used to store my information about employee number, employee first name, second name, gender, and mail ID, all are related to employee. Okay, so here if you see employee number, I made it as blue, right? Employee number is column is blue, all the remaining ones are in black. So this employee number blue color means this is a key field. This is a key field. All the remaining ones are non-key fields. Okay, key field is nothing but a primary key or unique key. Okay, key field is nothing but unique key or primary key. In the whole table, this is my unique or primary key, the remaining ones are non-unique keys. So the help or the benefit of the key field is you cannot, right, you cannot have a duplicate entry in key column. Okay, I'll repeat, you cannot have a duplicate entry or a repetitive entry in your key column. So imagine if this is my table, if this is my key field, then see, first record is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second is this. Third is this. Fourth is this. So till this, these four are unique, right? Non-repetitive numbers, unique numbers, non-duplicate numbers. But if you look at the last one, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it is already there in the system. Okay, it is already there in the table. So if you again try to add it here, it will give you an error that this entry is already existing. So that's the reason I made it as red, right? All these entries are red because your key field here, whatever the entry that is there here, is already existing in the system. So you cannot re-add it again. So this is your unique relationship. Unique means, or unique or primary key means, one record or one value cannot be repeated twice. Simple. One value cannot be repeated twice. Then non-unique means, see, all these are all non-unique values. So that's the reason you can again change it. I mean, have duplicate values in it. See, Rahul, Rahul, Rahul. There are three Rahuls here, but still there I've made it in black only. I didn't keep it in red. Again, see here, Sharma, Sharma is two times, twice. So still black. Gender, male and female. Male are repeating. Female is only one, but yeah, male are repeating, but still it's fine. So even if you're repeating males also in this case, so since I've made it a non-key field, see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 here. These two are repeating, but still it is fine. Although males are repeating, it's still fine because it is a non-key field. I made it as a non-key field. So these things, even if these are repeating, it will be accepted in the system because these are non-key fields. But whereas your key field cannot be repetitive, it will only have unique number in it, unique value in it. See, this is a number here, but again, if I'm making this, imagine this as a character field. If I'm having ABC here, again I cannot have ABC anywhere else. It's not just numbers, it can be any value. It can be number, it can be alpha, I mean it can be an alphabet, or it can be an alphanumeric number, right? What I mean to say is, see, discard. So if I go back to this again, so here it is a number now. So instead of this number, if I want to add underscore ABC, and if I want to add another underscore ABC, even this is incorrect. Even this is incorrect. Why? Because see, this is already there, so you cannot have it again here. So instead of this, if you only want to have ABC, you only want to have ABC, then ABC cannot be repeated again. So in this case, this will be valid. Again, this will be valid because this value is not there on the top. So again, you cannot have a repetitive ABC value here. Okay, doesn't matter what the value is. I mean, whatever the type of the value is, it could be a number, it could be an alphabet, it could be an alphanumeric. Okay, whatever the value is, the value cannot be repeated. That is the concept of your unique to non-unique relationship. A unique field cannot have a duplicate entry, whereas your non-unique fields can have a duplicate entry. Okay, clear, everyone? If you're having any doubts, please do not hesitate to ask, because understanding the unique non-unique relationship is very important when we create any table. Because if we don't understand this concept, then you will not know which field to make it unique, which field to make it non-unique. See, in this employee table, the reason I made this employee number as unique is, see, there could be employees with same name, there could be employees with same gender, but there will not be any employee with the same employee number. Every employee number will be unique. It will be different, right? So that is the reason this is a key field here. If you are again making, let's say you are making a student related table, in that again, what will be the unique field? Your student ID will be unique. Student name can be repetitive, student ID can be repetitive, I mean, so student address can be repetitive, gender can be repetitive, but your student ID will not be repetitive. So in that case, that will be your key field. So like that, Depending upon the scenario, you have to judge. Again, your functional consultant will be there to help you out, but again, it's finally your call to make it unique or non-unique relationship. Okay, any doubts, anyone? Okay, so we'll just park today's class here itself. So yeah, reminding you people again to please complete your enrollment or registration quickly, because from now on the content that you get is exclusive, and we will be using system every day from today on. We'll be logging into SAP and we'll be creating objects. Okay, from like tomorrow. Today also we used package, right? So tomorrow also we will be using system very actively. Okay, we will be creating tables, we'll be creating multiple objects starting tomorrow. So it's better if you can get your server access very quickly. Okay, yeah, Praneeth, you pinged. Do we get access? I missed that part. Once your registration is completed, your server access will be given to you. So once after the registration is completed, it might take 1 to 2 days to create your user IDs in the system. So after the creation of the user IDs, the institute people will be sharing you the server access details. So they'll be giving you the server name, they'll be giving you the password and user ID, all these three. So once they give it, I'll show you. I mean, there is something that we have to do in our laptops. So every laptop has this remote connection server. So by using the remote connection server, we have to connect it to the server. I'll show you how to connect it to the server and all. Once you all receive your server details, I'll show you that part. Okay, so anyone else has any doubt? Okay, yeah, if no one is having any doubt, we can, okay, we can complete the today's session. So yeah, let's meet tomorrow, and request you again to go through the initial ERP introduction document to revise the concepts of package and transportable object to non-transportable objects, etc., etc. things, right? So tomorrow we will create table in both local object. I'll show you. So today I showed you how to save it in a TR, right? We saved package in a TR. So tomorrow I'll show you how to save the table in a local object. Okay, I'll show you the difference between local object and transportable object tomorrow. Okay, yeah, thanks guys, have a great day, bye.